Good morning, friends. This is Mrs. Carter. Welcome to school today. I'm so glad to see you. Today in reading, we are talking about characters. Yesterday, I introduced things we need to think about when we're reading. We need to think about who are the characters, and those are the people, animals, or things in the story. We need to think about the setting, and the setting is where the story takes place. And the third thing we need to think about during the story is the events, the things that happen to the characters throughout the story. Yesterday, we read a story about the Whiffy Wilson, and Whiffy did not want to go to school. And so he talks to Dottie, and Dottie convinces him to go to school. He goes to school and he loves it. And we find out the whole reason he doesn't want to go to school is because he's scared. Well, scared is how he was feeling. And we need to really pay attention to how people are feeling in a story because it helps us understand them better. So I want to show you our slide about characters. So just a moment while I present our screen. So let's look at our chart about characters. And I shared this with you yesterday, but it's a good reminder. So who's the story about? Well, the story is about characters, and they can be people, animals, or creatures. And we talked about Clifford, the big rig dog, and Emily and their stories. And in The Very Hungry Caterpillar, the caterpillar is what the story is about. And if you've ever read some Fancy Nancy books, you know that there's many characters in her stories, but they're mostly about Fancy Nancy. And then if you are like me and you love Pete the Cat, well, you know Pete the Cat is the main character in his stories. So we want to think about the characters, who they are, and what they're feeling. So let me share this book with you.
Splat of a Cat by Rob Scotton. It was early in the morning and Splat was wide awake. Today was his first day at cat school, and his tail wiggled wildly with worry. If I hide from the day, maybe it'll go away, he thought. It didn't go away. Time to get up, said his mom. Time to get dressed, said his mom. I don't have any clean socks, Mom. Maybe I should go to school tomorrow instead, said Splat. You don't wear socks, said his mom. I'm having a bad hair day, Mom. Maybe I should go to school tomorrow instead, said Splat. His mom combed his hair. Perfect, she said. Don't forget your lunchbox, said his mom. I'll need a friend today, thought Splat, as he dropped his pet mouse Seymour into his lunchbox. Time to go, said his mom. The front door won't let me out, Mom. The gate won't let go of my fingers, Mom. The lamppost won't get out of my way, Mom. You can ride your bike if you like, Splat, said his mom. So he did, but he didn't say a single word. Welcome to cat school, said a big round cat. I'm Mrs. Wimpy Dimple, your teacher. Splat's mom gave him a hug. I'll be back soon, she said. You'll be fine. Everyone, this is Splat. Let's welcome him into our class, said Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. Hi, Splat. Mrs. Wimpy Dimple began. Cats are amazing, she said. We're clever, cunning, and quick. Am I amazing too? Asked Splat. Yes, you too, said Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. Cats climb trees, drink milk, and chase mice, she continued. Why do we chase mice? Asked Splat. It's what we do, replied Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. Why? Asked Splat. Because. Why? 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 Mrs. Wimpy Dimple sighed. Lunchtime, she announced. Splat opened his lunchbox. Mouse! The cats did what cats do. Seymour hid behind a glass bottle, and when the cat saw his face through the glass, they screamed and ran away. Seymour did what all mice want to do. Stop! Cried Splat. Splat! They didn't stop. Enough, Mrs. Wimpy Dimple said, and it ended. It's milk time. Hooray! But the door to the milk cupboard was stuck. No milk today, announced Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. Aww. Splat whispered into Seymour's ear. Seymour nodded, and then, a moment later, the door swung open. Yum! Mrs. Wimpy Dimple wrote again on the chalkboard. Cats don't chase mice. Hooray! Cheered the class. Soon it was home time. Splat's mom returned and gave him a hug. I've got lots of friends. Cats don't chase mice. I'm amazing. It was early the next morning and Splat was wide awake. Today was his second day at cat school, and his tail wiggled wildly with excitement.
Okay, so friends, in Splat the Cat, think about who is the story mostly about. I bet you know. The story is mostly about Splat, right? But we do have some other characters. We have his mom who's trying to get him off to school. And then we also have the teacher, Miss Wiggly. What was her name? Miss Wiggly Dimple. Wiggly Dimple. That was her name. And so we also have some other characters, the mouse, and then all his classmates at school. So we know that Splat is the main character who the story is mostly about. Well, I want you to think about how Splat felt about going to school. Do you know how he felt about going to school? It said his tail wiggled wildly with worry at the beginning of the story. So what does that tell you about how he felt about going to school? Then there were a whole bunch of things that happened that helps us know how Splat felt about going to school. First, he told his mom he didn't have any socks. Then he said he was having a bad hair day and his mom combed his hair. And then he needed a friend for school, so he dropped his mouse in the lunchbox. And then the front door wouldn't let go, the gate wouldn't let go, and the lamppost wouldn't let go. So how do you think Splat felt about going to school? Okay, so let's take that and think about our story from yesterday with Whiffy Wilson. Did Whiffy want to go to school? What do you remember about Whiffy? Well, I'm wondering if Whiffy and Splat feel the same way about going to school. What do you think? Could you write a sentence about how they both felt about going to school? Do you think it's the same or is it different? Okay, I look forward to hearing your answers. Have a great afternoon, friends. We'll see you tomorrow.